Well, good morning. It is 9:30 here now, which means I've been awake for 6 hours because we had to wake up really early to get on a bus to drive us out in the mountains to start this trek. If it sounds like I'm out of breath, it's because although we just started hiking, we're getting into some higher altitudes here. So this trail starts out pretty shitty, literally. Lots of horse shit all over the trail. You can take horses up to the top if you don't want to walk, which might be recommended for some people. And the other thing to mention is that there are a lot of people here. It's very touristic. So if you're looking for a peaceful nature hike without a lot of people, this is not the one for you. But since this trail is so popular, then we have to assume that the destination is worth the journey. So let's get up there and check it out. So trust me when I say it's not too cold right now, but wearing this for sun protection. Though the snow is not too far from us. We're pretty high up. Alright, so I'm guessing and hoping that as soon as we clear this ridge right here, it's gonna flatten out. I don't know if that's our destination or not, but kind of hoping it is. Okay, we're not there yet, but we reached a flat spot. I think we're very, very close. It's right over this ridge. Everybody's stopping here. Observation. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people on this hike that are seemingly older and maybe more out of shape than I am. And yet, everyone's kind of going at basically the same pace, which is really interesting. Man, I tell you what, it's not a challenging hike except for the low oxygen levels. We're coming up on the great reveal now. There's gonna be a lot of people, unfortunately, but I think it'll still be worth the view. Unfortunately, it was a bit cloudy, but this was actually the best lighting that we could get. You'll see a nice reflection on the lake right now, but that started to disappear the longer that we stayed there and the more clouds that came in. If the weather was better, we'd get great views of the mountain, but another draw that brings people here is the crystal clear water, which you can still enjoy even on a cloudy day like today. So according to my GPS watch, if I can trust what it says, we're at about 4,200 meters, something like that, which is pretty close to the summit of Mount Rainier in Washington State. So that kind of gives you an idea of how high up we are here. So when I talk about like the low oxygen levels and things, it's because of the altitude and the elevation. So it's just hard to breathe, but the hike itself was not very challenging. So is it worth it? Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful sight. And there's definitely too many people, which I expected. But I like pushing myself and challenging myself at these higher elevations because I'm not sure when I've ever done a hike that's this high up. So at least now I can say I've done that and try and push myself to even taller hikes in the future. heading down the mountain now. The timing was perfect because when we got there, the sun was out, so the view was more clear on the lake with the reflections. And then as we were leaving, the clouds were rolling in, and it's just starting to rain right now, so gotta quickly get back to the car. It's a couple days later now. I'm editing the video that you're watching, and I'm reflecting on the hike. Hey, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. Okay, it was a good experience. God, I look like shit, don't I? I'm having trouble sleeping, which is something I wanted to touch on. That day was very rough because I didn't have much sleep. You have to wake up at like 4 in the morning. Well, you get picked up at 4 in the morning. Now, the tour agencies, they say it's 3 hours there and 3 hours back. In reality, it was almost like 5 hours there and 5 hours back. So it's 10 hours of travel for a 4-hour hike. So if that's worth it to you, go ahead and do it. But I was just exhausted that day. Just lack of sleep mixed with the high elevation. I think I'm still recovering. So yeah, it was cool. But just factor that in. It was like a 14-hour day, 10 hours of transit. It's up to you if you want to do that. So stand by for the next adventure. Who knows what it's going to be? I don't even know. See you later.